What's more important, pressure or flow? That's the subject of today's video and something we're going to dive into just now. So from time to time, I'll get a comment over in the YouTube comment section telling me how flow is more important than having high PSI coming out of your pressure washer. And in some ways that is true. So in my opinion, you can't have one without possibly sacrificing or definitely affecting the other. So for example, if you take a garden hose and attach that to your outside tap, that is going to be the maximum flow you will get. So for me, I get about 20 litres per minute coming out of the outside tap. I think it's about 18.5 to be exact. You stick your thumb over the end of that, you're going to reduce the flow, but you are going to increase the pressure coming out of that. So this is what I mean in terms of you get one, but you may sacrifice another. Also, it's worth noting when you're looking at buying a pressure washer as well, I'll quickly touch on this, is that the pressure washer spec will tell you the flow rate. That is usually actually the flow you need to be able to put into the device so it doesn't kind of run dry and stall and have other potential issues with the machine. It's also the maximum flow that's going to be coming out. So for example, the Carscope that I use has a maximum output flow of 11 litres per minute, so my input is more than capable to power that. You look at other high street brands, so the Carscope K7 is about 10 litres per minute, and the Arva P60, which seems to be a common favourite at the moment, is about 8.3 litres per minute is the output flow. So I guess what I'm saying is, in one way, you can't really change or improve the flow. That is the most water you're going to be getting out of your pressure washer. However, you can adjust the pressure. And by doing so, you can either increase and get more pressure to blast away hard baked on dirt and grime, or you can reduce the pressure if you've got potentially flaky paint, something, a bit of a classic, something that you're a bit cautious about, or you've got leaky rubbers, you can reduce the pressure, or maybe you just want to do a low pressure, high flow rinse. So in order to change the pressure then, you may have seen these bullet nozzles about, so I'll quickly show these to the camera over here. So the black one is typically your soap one. That is your lowest pressure. That is normally used if you have a suction hose to dip into the chemicals and you apply soap. It's called a soap nozzle for that reason. You then have the red 0 degree. That is your highest pressure one. We then have a 15 degree orange, a 25 degree green, and the 40 degree white, which is typically the safest of all the nozzles that you're going to be using. For detailing, you're probably just going to be sticking with the green and the white one. They're the two I use the most. So next up then, can you have too much pressure? Is there a risk of damaging the paintwork with any of these nozzles? Well, obviously with the black and the white one, they're the lowest pressure. No, you ain't going to do anything. You're not really, unless the paint is flaking and coming apart, you're not really going to do any damage with those. However, the red one, we've done a little bit of testing, and as you can see in this footage here, the red one, you don't have to get very close to the cardboard box to be able to pierce straight through that. And I'll show you in just a moment what happens on paintwork with the red one. The orange one, you can get a little bit close, that's 15 degrees. And the green and the white ones, you can basically get really, really close to the cardboard box before you do punch through that. So realistically, if you're holding them 6-inch, 12-inch back away from the paintwork, the green and the white one ain't going to do any damage, but there is a possibility with the red one. Now we'll just stick on that subject for one moment. So I grabbed the test bonnet out and I thought, let's try and sacrifice this. And believe it or not, the red one doesn't even break the paintwork. Does that mean you should use it? No, definitely not. The issue is you may have scratches, you may have a bit of lacquer peel, you may have stone chips. You most definitely have stone chips, in fact. And there's the possibility that that little jet of water coming out of there and you're a little bit too close is going to rip up the lacquer or the paintwork. So really the orange and the red ones are worth staying away from. Now why does this work? Well, the reason for that is the angle of these. So basically the 0 degree, as you can see in this clip here, the high pressure comes out at basically at no angle. It's called a 0 degree, but really it's coming out at like a 1 degree angle. And it's carrying that pressure for a long while, to be quite honest with you. Whereas if you compare that to the green and the white ones, for example, which are the 25 and 40 degree, the fan pattern is much wider. So straight away you can even put your hand in front of those fan patterns and it's not going to hurt at all. So the pressure is reduced instantly. As soon as it comes out to the end of the nozzle, it is massively reduced. Now, speaking of nozzles, so as I said, we've got these bullet ones, which I've done the demonstrations with, and these are the common ones that you see a lot of people use. However, they are a little bit cheap. After a bit of time, they do start to wear and look a bit tatty, and the nickel plating can also corrode. Our friends over at Carscope have kind of sent me a couple to test out. So we've got the 25-degree green one from them, and the blue one is the 40-degree. And these have rubberized textured nozzles, some covers, protectants. So these are basically designed for if you're getting under your arches, into your wheels, any close areas. I know I've just said you shouldn't be getting too close, but if you are getting up into those arches, you know, there's no chance of damaging your paintwork with those, and they are nice. They feel very, very high quality. So I'll leave a link to their website in the description below if you're interested in a set of new nozzles. So why does pressure and flow actually matter then? Well, pressure, you're going to want to use that when you want to get hard baked on grime and dirt off the car. You may be cleaning the patios, you may be doing other things around the house where you really do want a high pressure and not a lot of water coming out of there. For your car, say you're probably going to be removing baked on dirt and grime, bird muck, heavy brake dust on your wheels, and you might want a fair bit of pressure, which is probably where you're going to use the 25-degree green nozzle. Of course, you then go ahead, do your cleaning, be it acid all over your path, your snow foam on your car, whatever it is you're doing, you go ahead and do your clean solution. And then when you go to rinse it, you want to flush it all away. And that's where you would then step down to a low pressure nozzle, such as the white 40-degree. So you're going to get more flow coming out of that one at a reduced pressure. You could also use the soap one. However, you then have to get quite close to the car. And if you're going to do that, you might as well just take the cap off and wave the wand about and just let it free flow out to the end of the pressure washer gun, which you'll often see me doing to dry the car and rinse it off with it being ceramic coated. So yeah, there we go then, a slightly different video to normal then. As I say, it's just one of those comments I get from time to time saying flow is more important than pressure. In my opinion, they are both equal. It depends what stage of the detail you're at. So early on in the detail, you may want pressure, but at the end, you're going to want the flow. And that's where these nozzles come in handy. So I hope that's cleared up a few questions and concerns you guys may have had. If you found this video useful, then please don't forget to smash that like button. Also, I'll put an icon just here as well if you could subscribe. That would really help us out. It doesn't cost you guys a thing, and we really do appreciate it. A couple of videos down here as well that I think you may enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed this one, found it useful, and we'll see you in the next video.